This is the 10x Your Business podcast with Itai Paz, session number 11. Time to take huge actions.
Welcome to the 10x Your Business podcast, where it's all about 10x your business results. Get more clients, make more money, and have more free time. And now, your host, entrepreneur, best-selling author, trainer, and international speaker, Itai Paz.
Welcome to the 10x Your Business podcast. I'm very excited about our guest today, Eric Ho. Eric, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Awesome. So Eric, you're an international speaker, you're an author, a best-selling author, entrepreneur. You're doing so much. You travel worldwide, helping people and businesses. So what is success for you? How do you define success?
I think success is down to having a balanced lifestyle, I would say. I guess back in the day when I first started out, I felt that success was, making money and achieving more goals and setting up more businesses. But I think, now it's, things have changed in my perspective of life. And I feel that, happiness is, within, success is within. And it's just having a healthy lifestyle, being able to live a balanced life, being able to have money, but at the same time, being able to do what you want when you want,
Great. So if there are entrepreneurs and business owners which are on, their beginning of the path, what do you tell them? Hey, don't be totally focused on the money, focus on the lifestyle of being happy. So if you make a little bit money, enjoy it, make it more other than wait for the success in 5, 6, 7, 10 years.
Well, I think it's like this. I think it's really down to individual needs. It's like I believe there's a time for everything, meaning that I'm a big believer in flow and being in the moment and being able to live those moments. But at the same time, I believe there's a time for everything. Like there's a time for hustle. There's a time to get in there, get your hands dirty, and just nonstop. I guess nonstop producing. Great work. And working when other people are sleeping. I think that if you're wanting to achieve certain goals and you're wanting to achieve it pretty fast, then I think it's important to actually get your hands dirty and get down to the hard work. And I think that's very I guess for every entrepreneur just starting out, I think that's very important to understand, is that it can only be as easy as you make it out to be. And I think that you need to, I guess, put all your time into it. And when you do, it can pay really big rewards, but it's not one of those things where you go in and you think, okay, it's down to smart work. Let's just, leverage off some people and then just, work 9 till 5 and then I'll be done, And I think if you do that, I think it'll take a long time to succeed.
And you turn it into a job, right? 9 to 5. This is
that's true, and that's what most people do. But I think, I teach a lot about systems, and I'm a systems guy, and I believe that you put all the hard work into something, and you put all your time, you put all your passion into it. And sometimes you may need to, sacrifice some time away from family or whatnot to get there quicker. But then once you get there, the idea that I have behind it is that, you look at how to systemize those processes, how you can be a great leader and leverage off other people so that other people can be there, growing that business for you. And then you have that time to balance your life out, relax and have more time to yourself, I guess.
Absolutely. And it is, if you're an entrepreneur, business owner, you do work lots of hours, but if you enjoy it and you love it, you don't really care. You just do what you do.
It doesn't feel like work. It's like people ask me today, they say, so some people look at me, they say, Eric, it looks like you never work. And then some people look at me and they say, Eric, you work all the time. But, I don't feel I'm working. I really don't. And I think it's one of those things, you asked before, should they focus on making money or adding value and stuff like that. I think the important thing is to go in there and understand adding value. And I don't expect everybody to be able to understand this at first, because, when you go into business for the first time, you're in there, you need to pay the bills, you know, and when you don't pay the bills, it's a panic, you know. There's a lot to worry about, and I understand that. But what I think there's an element of trust that you need to put into the purpose of serving. It's one of those things, you know. It's a big topic. A lot of people today talk about, you know, hey, add value, the money will come. Add value, the money will come. But I see when people do that, what happens is people add value for the sake of the money. So their focus is actually money. You know, I want the money, therefore I shall add value. Now, it's very different. It's very different. It may sound the same, but it's very different because when you add value for the sake of making money, your focus is on the money, meaning that you would serve other people, you would give them solutions, and the moment the rewards aren't paying off, then you stop because you have an expectation there. And the moment you stop, that's when you lose that momentum, and you can't produce those rewards. And I believe that, you know, in entrepreneurship, you know, Jack Ma talks about it all the time, you know, founder of Alibaba. And he always talks about, you know, it's all about solving problems, finding solutions for people. And once you understand that, you literally dedicate, I would say I've dedicated my life, you know, to just solving problems for people, finding solutions for people. Even if it's like producing, I don't know, we just invested recently in a swimming academy. Even if it's like even teaching people how to swim, how you can give them a better solution to the problems, you know, how you can serve people. And when your focus is on purely on serving other people, the rewards pay. They pay back. But does it mean that it comes back instantly? No, it doesn't. It means that you continue to believe and understand that just go out there, just serve, just find solutions for people, and the rewards will be paid, you know?
Absolutely. And you were talking about the business owners and entrepreneurs that being stuck, maybe losing some purpose in some way. In what ways can someone like that is stuck can motivate himself or get motivation from?
I'm gonna go back to service again, because this is the thing. Most people, they go into business because they want to create a lifestyle. If you ask people why did you start your first business, they would say, wanted to be my own boss, want my own freedom, want my own time, want to be able to make money, be flexible, and not work for somebody else, right? And then if you look at most business owners in today's world, they're number one. Most businesses fail. So understand that 75%, I think I read the stats the other week, 75% fail within like the first 2 years or something. And to understand, most of them fail. So most of them don't make money. Then money isn't even the part why most people go in. They go in because they want the time, they want the freedom, right? And then to understand the 20% of people, or even the 10% of people who actually make money, that most of them are stuck in their business. Right? Robert Kiyosaki talks about all the time. He says most entrepreneurs think they're entrepreneurs, but they're merely just employees of their own business. And so, you know, most people are stuck one way or the other, stuck making money or stuck freeing up their time. And the problem I see a lot of the time is that most people, when they go into business, their focus is on, okay, they think, let's go find some area where it's easy to make money. And I don't believe that there's any area that's easier to make money. Money can be made from anything. You know, people can be selling water and make millions. People can be selling carpet and making millions, right? Money can be made from anywhere. And I think it's more to do with understanding. Sorry, you have the second type of people who go into business because they look for something they're passionate about. You know, a lot of people say, do something you're passionate about, right? Find a product, find a service that you're passionate about, because that's what's going to keep you going. But, you know, quite frankly, I coach a lot of business owners, and I see that being a problem as well, because what you're passionate about may not be what the whole, you know, the market is passionate about. It's about delivering service to other people, right? It's about giving them what they want. And it doesn't matter how passionate you are about something. Say, for example, you created the new trackpad for a computer, for example, and it's amazing, right? And then you're going out there and you're trying to sell it, but then no money's coming in, nobody's buying it. And then you're struggling paying your bills. It's just a matter of time where it goes 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, 5 years down the line, where you're going to lose that passion. I don't care how passionate you were with that trackpad, but you're going to lose the passion. So I always say, you know, when you, the thing that's going to keep you driven throughout it is basically down to two things. Number one is if you focus on adding value, you focus on service. Because if you create the best service out there or the best product out there, then people will always be saying, hey, wow, that's absolutely amazing. You know, I love it. And when people say that and thank you for that solution, you feel great about it. That's number one. Then the second thing is, you need to know how to monetize this stuff. And monetization, you know, I believe it's just down to one skill, and that's that skill to sell. Everybody, whether you like it or not, you're in sales, and you have to know how to sell to be able to get that money in. And I think with these two things in mind, it doesn't matter what businesses you go in, you'll keep that passion throughout it. And so these will be the two focus. Number one, value. Number two is sales. If you look at Richard Branson, for example, I mean, he has over like 400 companies. I don't believe that he's passionate about every single product and service within the companies. I believe his passion is in entrepreneurship. And I think when people start awakening and realizing that, you know, that's where passion comes from, just serving other people and being rewarded for it. And then that'll keep you driven forever, you know? Absolutely.
I agree with you. And Mark Cuban said, entrepreneurship is not a job, it's a lifestyle.
That's right. That's right.
Which is right. This is our lifestyle. I always tell people, you know, you can decide in the morning if you don't have someone, you know, if you didn't schedule with someone, you can wake up and say, okay, this morning I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to take my wife and go to drop the kids at school and go for nice breakfast outside. But usually you would pick up, if you're an entrepreneur, you would decide to go and do something for your business and for your venture, because this is you're an entrepreneur. So it's all about that. So you were talking about lifestyle a lot, and you travel a lot internationally. And so could you share about what's a lifestyle that, you know, you have that people might inspire to be where you are?
I think, you know, everybody has different goals. I think that for me, you know, at this stage of my life, let's say, I believe in balance. And so what's important to me is living that balanced lifestyle, being able to have some time for family, being able to have some time for travel and to, I guess, recharge. And that, you know, that may change. It could possibly change, and I'm open to that. But at this moment in time, for the past, I guess, 2 years of my life, it's been very balanced. But what I've found is that while I've took more time out, and I say this because I used to work like 120-hour weeks, you know. I mean, yes, business owner, and you know, in the steel and recycling business and in noodle bar franchise and all these different businesses in different areas. I worked very hard for it. I put all my time towards it, and hence I got those results. Now, you know, I think it was 2 years ago where I actually went on a retreat out with Jarek Robbins out in Thailand. And then he was talking about values, and it woke me up a bit, you know, because and I think it's amazing when you ask people this, because when you ask people, you know, what are your values, a lot of the time they'll say, you know, what are your highest values? They'll say family, they'll say love, they'll say, I don't know, travel or education, growth, and all that type of stuff. And then you ask them the second question, which is, you know, what are you living? You know, how are you living? If you were to prioritize what you spend most of your time doing, most people will say job and career and money and maybe family and maybe health, you know, and then it kind of flips the whole thing around. And I think I came to a realization a couple of years ago when I seen that, and I made a decision. I said that, look, it doesn't matter. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, whether you make 1 million, you make 10 million, you make 20 million. I mean, for me, my lifestyle's pretty much the same. You know, for the past, I think like 3 years now, I've been paying myself around maybe 45K a year, and that's it. You know, a lot of people in jobs are being paid more than that, but I feel that's sufficient. You know, I'm happy with that. And yes, the company can grow. Yes, we can invest in more things, but I think that you know, it just depends where you are in life. For me, it's just I like to travel. That's cool, and it's great because I get, you know, paid to travel and speak all around the world now and meet so many wonderful people. And I get to invest in new businesses as well. That's what keeps me charged as well, keeps me driven. I like the, I guess, the variety of entering into new markets and industries. High-end fashion brand as well, which is exciting because we're going into next year's Paris show. So we've got a lot of different things going on. I think that's what keeps me going. But every time I say I step on it for like, I don't know, let's say 2 days, 3 days, 4 days straight, I'll probably like take, you know, a day to wind down again, just to recharge, you know, and I feel that's very important. And that keeps me going, because I think for the last 10 years, I was working on burnout, you know?
Awesome. I think it's a great model, and I do share a big part of it myself. When I travel, I try, like I said, to, you know, take it as an adventure, make the time to rest, to relax, to have some fun, to have some networking, meet the people, not just being, you know, oh, I came, I did my work and went back home, which is very important. You were talking earlier about you being a processes and a system type of person, you know, in business and I guess also in life in some way. So in perspective of a business owner and entrepreneur, what would be the main systems or processes that you would say that they need to create right away in order to sustain the business, to grow it, to grow it significantly in the next few years?
It's first of all to understand that most businesses don't have systems. They just and I think that's why most business owners are stuck in their businesses, because they're just without them the business can't run. And there's a few things, you know, there's a few things to it. Number one is in terms of, you know, the documents, the manuals, they kind of need to be there, whether we like it or not. I know it doesn't sound too sexy and it's not one of those things that we just want to get doing, but it's understanding that the moment you start documenting all of the processes and flow charting everything in terms of the step-by-step, even from making a phone call, you know, to us, it may be just straightforward, make a phone call to a supplier, order some stock, done, right? But then when we pass that message on to other people, you know, it's like Chinese whispers, right? It gets around and it comes back a different message. And so we can't leave the business in that sense. And I think so. Number one is documenting it. And number two is the way we document it. It's the way we communicate to our employees. And I think one really big thing that allowed me to, I guess, free myself when this was when I was like 20, 24, 25, I needed to do this because I was working totally on burnout. You know, I was running about 4 or 5 restaurants at the time, and I was like working all the time, and I was stuck, and I was wondering, how is it that someone like Subway can have over 40,000 stores worldwide, or McDonald's can have over 36,000 stores, but why is it that I'm stuck here with 5 restaurants? Or why is it that some people are stuck doing 1 coffee shop, and why are they stuck, you know? And so I started looking at it, and I think one big key is the operations manual, the systems. And then the second part is the communication between the leader, the management, and the employee. So how we usually communicate something, for example, is we usually tell them what to do. So if we're out there telling the staff what to do or the employees what to do, they will only do it when they are told what to do. So we need to stand there every single day telling them, right? Now, they won't do it on their own accord a lot of the time. And the reason behind that is because they have no reason to. So the shift in communication just needs to come from the why. So basically, it could be as simple as, let's say, I don't know, let's say a restaurant, for example, just a easy how to wipe a table. You know, I remember this because I used to tell them to wipe the table. I used to tell them to wipe the table in circles, right? And I said, if you wipe it in circles, it's a lot cleaner, and then it dries quicker and everything, right? And then everyone used to wipe it, you know, horizontally, and it might seem like something really little, but all of these things start adding up, and that's why, you know, a lot of the time when I used to be away from the restaurant, I come back and I say, oh no, the tables aren't clean, this isn't done, that isn't done, right? But then something so simple as that is because if you just tell them, hey, wipe it in circles, people will, they will only do it for you. Now, how do you make it meaningful for them is if you give a command plus a why. So it means, okay, wipe it in circles, right? Because if you wipe it in circles, watch this. If you do it like this, look, it actually saves time, and it's actually easier for you. You put less effort into it, and it makes your job so much easier. Now they're thinking, wow, okay. Now you show them and they see it. Now they're thinking, wow, yes, I want to make my life easier. So they start wiping it in circles, but not because of you, but because of them. And to understand, I mean, it might sound like, whoa, then every command needs to come with a why. That's a lot of work. But it's a lot of work, maybe temporary, because you put that work in, you put that communication down, whether it be on your ops manual, it's the same, whether it be by verbal, it's the same. You communicate in that way, everybody starts acting on their own accord, you know, and then you don't need to be there. And I think that's very important, to be able to free yourself up from your business.
Absolutely. And these are, you know, you touched important, you gave 2 great strategies for people to do. And, you know, business owners, you're listening, entrepreneurs, do that. It's very important, because when you're not there, the processes and everything will be in place. So the business will keep on going like you're not there. And that's your end goal, right? To keep on going, keep on moving. Right. You don't want to work in the business.
But I guess, trust me, one thing is that, you know, listeners will be listening to this and, oh, it makes sense. It makes sense. But when will they get themselves around to actually documenting these things? You know, for most people, it's never. It really is, because they see it as, wow, that's a lot of work. But, you know, listen to me. It's like, you put that little time in now, it's a lifetime of freedom, you know? And I think that's very important to understand.
Absolutely. That's the key. Do it now, and it will last for a long time. I want to ask you about the internet, and, you know, you have your own businesses, and you sell your products, you speak. How do you leverage the internet, the power of the internet, to grow your businesses?
I think for us, actually, we're a lot to do with social media. I think on Facebook, especially recently as well, with the tweaks with Facebook Live and the reach, you know, I was just like on live, I think, yesterday, and then while I was live, it already reached out to 190,000 people, and, you know, it's instant. And every day when I do these videos, it's reaching out to 200,000 people and stuff, and it's really powerful. So we do a lot actually on social media. In the past, we used to do a lot of things with SEO and Google rankings and things. But actually, to be honest, a lot of our marketing today is actually on Facebook. It's very powerful, and not the paid stuff. The paid stuff works, and, you know, you work out the cost per lead, and then you still make money at the end of it, which is great. But that price is going up all the time, and it's getting very expensive to do. So we actually use more innovative ways via social media, by creating a buzz, by creating competitions and things for people, a reason for people to share things, and a reason for people to, I don't know, invite their friends, or, you know, and things like that. And it works very well for us.
Awesome. I think, you know, like you said, social media is the thing to go, and this is everything. Everyone needs to do that. It's the most powerful thing. About live streaming, this is really new for most business owners, and, well, it's new anyway, but yeah, Facebook one, and so not everyone still know how to utilize it. Yeah, but right. Like you said, just go live and share knowledge, share information, help people.
That's right. And I think another thing as well is again, back down to systems. I mean, if you're wanting to live that lifestyle, you know, I think it's about creating those sales funnels and getting all the back end like solid, so that it just automatically converts. You know, you've got all your videos there with your sales funnels there, and you've got all the sequences in place, so they all actually just work. And again, setting it up is not so sexy. You know, it's a lot of brain power and a lot of work behind it. But once it's done, it's done. You know, it's just automatic money. Why not, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And the live broadcast, do you have a certain time of the day? Like we see some business, you know, some entrepreneurs doing every day, like on Periscope, same time they go live for 15, 20, 30 minutes, or you just go on as something happens?
Yeah, I think well, there's both ways to be able to do it, I think. And also I was asked this question today from one of my coaching clients, was about the time to post. And I think it really depends on your own audience. So what I would do is I would check insights and then have a look at where your audience is and what time they are on, because Facebook already gives you that information. So you already can find out when the peak hours are. For me personally, I usually do early in the morning for a few reasons, because I have actually the majority of my following is actually out in Asia, because I do a lot of gigs out in Malaysia, Vietnam, and going into Thailand and Singapore and stuff. So we got a lot of following out there. So what I do is early in the morning, which also equals to lunch time over there. So they've got a free break. And also what's good for me here is also around 6 o'clock, people finish work and in the UK, and people are just going to bed, before they go to bed in Asia. So that's for me personally, but I would say just check your own insights,
Absolutely. It's a great advice. We say it also when you send emails, try to send the emails on time people are actually available to read them. So it's a valid, of course, when we're talking about broadcast and doing live broadcast for people, especially when they need to be live to see it right away. So it's very important. Eric, first of all, I want to thank you. You gave great advice and great strategies to our listeners. So I do appreciate you being here. Before we end up, our listeners, how can they follow you and learn more from you?
If they on all social media platforms, it's Eric Ho Official. So it's ERICHO Official. So you just Facebook.com, Instagram, everything is the same thing. Yeah. Or they can find www.erichoofficial.com as well.
Awesome. Thank you again for being here.
Thanks a lot.
And thank you for everyone for listening. And I'll see you in the next podcast.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the 10X Your Business podcast with Itai Paz at www.itaipaz.net/podcast. We will be back with another great podcast next week. If you're digging what you're hearing, your next step is to go to iTunes and in the search box, type 10X Your Business. Click on Itai's picture and go ahead and subscribe to the podcast. And if you're feeling generous and you want to help other business owners and entrepreneurs like you to find this podcast, then give us your rating and review. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.